Well, hey everybody, today we're going to talk about how to get your appointments to stick. See, step number one is becoming a great appointment setter. If you can get in front of people in this business, the rest of this is very, very simple. People want and need what we do now today more than they ever have. But a key of setting appointments is actually getting onto the appointment, avoiding reschedules, the rare cancellation. How do you get great at making sure what you set sticks? So let me give you a couple of great ideas here that are going to increase your percentages. See, this is a percentage game. Not everybody's going to say yes. Not everybody's going to get involved, but enough are that you're going to be wildly successful if you follow the process and the system for a period of time, right? Okay, so what's normal? What I would consider normal is a 50% reschedule rate. Half of what you set is going to reschedule. If you are unbelievably good at setting appointments, maybe that drops to 40%, okay? Why is that? Well, it's really simple. People are busy today, and they don't respect their time, and they're not going to respect your time, right? People just don't have a lot of respect for other people's time today. They're very busy. They don't write things down, okay? So you've got to expect a 50% cancellation ratio. Everything in our system revolves around a 50% cancellation. We don't even expect our people to be on more than half when we run the numbers. If you can get on more than half, awesome. Congratulations. You are way better than a normal person, but expect half. And I know a lot of the time people get really frustrated early on in the business because they're like, man, people keep rescheduling, people keep moving on me. That's just part of the business. You've got to expect it, but expecting it is one thing. Doing something about it to limit it is what a pro will do. And that's what I'm going to teach you today is how do you limit reschedules? How do you limit cancellations? What's the difference, by the way? Okay, because I talk to guys that are like, man, coach, all my appointments canceled. Well, did they cancel or did they reschedule? See, a reschedule is I couldn't do it on the original time, but I'm set up to do it on a different time. That's a reschedule. The opportunity is still there. It's just moved. Okay, we don't want reschedules, but we can work with a reschedule, right? A cancellation is the opportunity is gone, right? They have not rescheduled. They said they didn't want to reschedule, okay? And so that's really rare, especially if you're following the script, if you're following the process. 1 out of 10 may be at that, right? But you will have about 50% reschedule. So if you get really, really good at it, you can move that to 40%. If you're not good at it, you might have 60, 70% reschedule, okay? And so for this to work optimally, for you to get the results you want to get, we need to keep that at a 50% or better reschedule rate, okay? So how do you make sure that you absolutely limit your reschedules to the bare minimum? Okay, and the answer is this, 2 words, post-close. Post-close. What is a post-close? A post-close is what you're going to do after the person has set a time to do an appointment with you. So you called them, you gave them the script, you got a time, date, and place set where you're right about to get off the phone. Okay, you set the appointment that you came for, and it's that last little solidification of the appointment, okay? So here's what I always said. Now, you don't have to say this. I said this. I would encourage you to say it, but I'm going to give you a couple of versions that all work well. But what I would always say, so I got, Thursday at 7 set up with you and your wife, and I'd say, Tim, hey, last thing, listen, unless you or I die between Thursday at 7 and now, okay, I'll see you guys then. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. And then I'm off the phone. So let me say it again. Steve, listen. So I've got you down for Thursday 7. Unless you or I die between now and then, I'll see you then. Okay, buddy? Awesome. All right. See you. Bye. And I'm going to have a little chuckle. It's kind of lighthearted, right? Okay. But what am I telling them subconsciously? I'm telling them that this is important. Do not reschedule. But see, I did it a little more tactfully than saying this is important. Do not reschedule, right? So again, let me say it one more time. So Lisa, I've got you guys down for Thursday at 7 for you and Tim. So listen, unless you or I die between now and then, I will see you Thursday at 7. Okay? Awesome. All right, see you then. Bye. And then I'm right off the phone. It's the last thing I do before I get off the phone. But what I'm doing them again is at a subconscious level, I'm telling them this is important. This is important. Just the act of post-closing anyway will greatly increase the amount that you actually get on, greatly decrease the amount of reschedules. Just by telling them something that reiterates to them This is important. If you say nothing, you just set the time. Okay, here's what happens in people's minds. They think, oh gosh, my favorite episode of the Barney the Dinosaur is on reruns. I better call Ian and reschedule. Okay, they just simply don't understand that it's important. You understand it's important, but they don't know anything about what you're going to tell them, right? If they knew what we were going to do for them across their kitchen table, if they knew how drastically we were going to change their financial life, if they knew how unbelievable their life could be by getting involved with us in our business, they'd be calling you, right? Okay, but they don't know that. And so this could be any level of importance to them. So just by post-closing them, right? Hey, listen, unless you or I die between now and then, I'll see you then. Just by saying that, you're going to drastically reduce the amount of reschedules and drastically increase, okay, the amount of appointments that keep. Okay, so that's what I always said. Here's a couple of other things that you could say, right? So Stephen, listen, I've got you guys for Thursday at 7. Hey, did you write that down in your calendar? Okay, great. Will you do that now? I'll just wait a second to make sure that you've got that down, because I just really want to make sure that nothing comes up or we forget about it. So let me know when you're done writing that down in your calendar, okay? And then I just wait. Okay, so you see it was a lot wordier, and I'm asking them to do something. So the way I look at it is the more solid the market, the more respectable the person, the less likely they are to reschedule on you because they value their time. Okay, and they probably did write it down. The less confident you feel in the integrity of that person, maybe the less success they've had in their life, the more likely it is they're not writing anything down. They're just saying, and they're going to totally forget. So I'm going to ratchet up my rhetoric a little bit with them if I feel uncertain. I'm going to say, hey, listen, Steve, so I got you guys Thursday at 7. Hey, did you write that down in your calendar? Oh, no, I got it in my head. Hey, do me a favor, really, if you could just write that down really quickly. I just want to make sure that it gets in your calendar. I know how busy you are. People forget these days. Do me a favor, just write that down so we don't end up having to move it. Okay, the next one, right? If I feel even less certain about that person, I might say, hey, Steve, so listen, I've got you guys for Thursday at 7. Okay, listen, I know your time is valuable. Okay, my time is valuable too. And so I really do appreciate you making the time. Okay, but do me a favor, please guard that time with your life. Okay, don't reschedule it, because a reschedule stops me from being able to help all the families that I need to help that day, and I'm having to push them into other days. It just becomes really hard on the schedule. Okay, so will you do me a favor? Okay, please don't reschedule. Okay, you're good? Awesome. I'll see you Thursday at 7. Okay? And so my last one, if I'm really, really uncertain, I say, so listen, Mark, I've got you guys Thursday at 7. Okay, and you've written that down, right? Okay. So listen, is there any reason, Mark, that you would not see the time that we put down as definite? Okay. No, I'm good. Okay, because listen, the last thing I want to have happen for your time or mine is needing to reschedule this. Okay, because then it's just another time out of both your and I's schedule. Okay, so please do me a favor. Guard that time with your life. Don't reschedule it, okay? Awesome. I will be there Thursday at 7. Okay, awesome. Hey, have a great day. I'll see you then. Boom. Okay, so those are a couple different ideas on the post-close. Again, any form of post-close is better than no post-close. And I'm kind of light and funny with almost everybody, but the less I feel comfortable about their capacity to keep that appointment, the more firm I'm going to get with them. So notice I'm calm, assertive, right? Okay, I'm still conversational. I'm having fun with them. I'm just explaining things like a friend would explain them, okay? So my tone of voice is positive, right? Okay, I'm conversational. I'm slow and low. Okay, so you want to make sure that you post-close. Now listen, never, let me say it one more time, never invite a reschedule. So let me tell you a post-close that invites a reschedule. So I got you Thursday at 7. Okay, so write that down and just let me know if anything comes up. No, you're inviting reschedules. If they think that they can just let you know and it's going to move, then virtually everybody's going to move on you. One of the things I see with people who have a really bad complete rate, they just don't get on very much of what they said, is if you were a fly on their wall and you were listening to what they were saying, they were inviting reschedules. Hey, listen, if that doesn't work, just let me know. If something comes up, okay, you never, ever invite that reschedule. Never, ever, ever invite the reschedule, right? Okay, so you never mention that. Okay, what you do is you say, hey, listen, if I've got you Thursday at 7, hey, unless you or I die between now and then, I'll see you guys then, okay? All right, very good. I'll see you then. Bye. And then you're there, right? Okay, so we're always going to post-close, but we're going to be very mindful that we never hint, we never invite, we never talk about needing to reschedule. Okay, so you've got the appointment, you've now post-closed. You're still going to have some reschedule, but it's going to greatly reduce the amount of reschedule. Now, what do you do about confirming the appointment? Okay, because listen, pros always confirm. Okay, I have guys on my team, and man, they'll drive an hour to go to an appointment that hasn't confirmed. I think they're crazy, right? But it's because they're not doing enough work. Okay, when you're not doing the amount of appointment setting you should be, you desperately need all your appointments to keep. When you're setting them in the amount that you should be according to our system, right, which is a spare timer, you should be setting 1 a day. Right? Okay, that's 7 a week. Half reschedule, you get on 3. That's 3 to 5 hours a week as a spare timer on appointments, right? If you're a part-timer, you should be setting 2 a day, right? That's 14 a week. You're going to get on 6 to 8, right? Okay, that's about 10 hours a week part-time on appointments. That's enough to get you full-time fast. If you're a full-timer, you should be setting a minimum of 3 to 5 personally set appointments every day, plus whatever your teammates are setting, right? Okay, and what happens is you get a volume of appointments big enough where if people do reschedule, it's not the end of the world, right? When I was really, really focused on building my business early on, right? Like when I was where you were at, okay, I was just totally focused on having massive amounts of activity. And I was thankful when people rescheduled. I was like, thank goodness. I didn't know how I was going to get there anyways. Okay, if anybody's going to be doing the rescheduling, guys, it's us, because we're so booked, right? Okay, that we can't take all the appointments and we need to reschedule. It's not going to be the other way around. Okay, so I'm a maniac about confirming. Here's why, right? I don't want to spend time driving somewhere where somebody's not going to be there to meet me. We'd be far better off staying fixed at wherever you are with your list and setting 4 or 5 or 6 appointments in the place of the busted appointment you just had versus spending time driving there and they're not there, they don't show up, right? Maybe their spouse isn't there. Okay, so you always confirm. People are afraid that if they confirm, they're going to get a reschedule. But again, if you did a great post-close, they're rarely going to try that. And if they do, I'm going to give you some tips right now to be able to keep that appointment. Okay, even if they do try rescheduling on the confirmation. But listen, 40 to 50% of the time they are going to reschedule. Okay, so I don't want to be driving all over the place, not setting appointments, right? Listen, if I'm stationary, if I know those appointments didn't go, then I'm going to set, my rule is this. I would always set a minimum of 2 in place of a busted appointment. So I had a 7 o'clock tonight. It ends up not confirming at 5, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set at minimum 2 in addition to what I already set today to make up for that, right? So I didn't get on 1 today, but I set 2 in its place. So I'm actually ahead, right? Okay, because that one's going to reschedule. Plus I've got 2 that I didn't have, right? So granted, it didn't happen today, but I set myself up for a great tomorrow, right? Does that make sense? Okay, but after I was done with that, then I went home. I was at home hanging out with my family, spending time with my kids, right? Listen, this is not a time-consuming business if you're a pro. If you're great at setting appointments, you stay in market, you confirm your appointments, okay, you're not going to spend a ton of time, right? Even if you set 40 for the week and half rescheduled, that's 20 appointments. That's 30 hours a week, y'all. Add training into that, right? Your 3 or 4 hours of training a week, you're under 40 hours, right? You're under 40 hours a week to build a multi-million-dollar business as a full-time person, right? I mean, that's unheard of. Most people who start businesses work 100 hours a week. I never worked more than 40 hours a week because I set a ton of appointments. I confirmed the ones that didn't confirm. I set more in their place, right? And I just trusted the numbers. I trusted the process. So here's what we're going to do. When we're confirming, we're always going to confirm the day of. The day of. Okay? Why? Because if you confirm any earlier than that, it's almost like setting an appointment a day or 2 early. they have the same potential to forget about it than doing it the day of. So we're always going to do a same day confirmation. It's always going to be a verbal confirmation. We're never going to text a confirmation. We're never going to send something over social media. Why? Because if it doesn't work, the conversation can stop on their end and it doesn't ever reschedule, right? If you have them on the phone and it doesn't work, you can set a rescheduled time right then and there with them, right? Okay, so we're always going to do it over the phone. The third reason is this, is that if there's an objection or something comes up, if you're on the phone, you can salvage that appointment a lot of times. But if it just comes in over text, a lot of times, unfortunately, these days, people don't see any need to respond, give you common courtesy and respond, right? Okay, so we're always going to do it over the phone, and we're going to do it on the same day of the appointment. We're not going to do it early. We're going to do it on the same day. Okay, we're also going to be very, very assumptive. Okay, what does that mean? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call Steve. It's Thursday, 2:30. Hey, Steve, it's Ian Prukner. Hey, I was just reminding you that I'm going to be by to see you and Laura today at 7. Awesome. Okay, great. So I'll see you guys then. Really looking forward to it. Talk to you soon. Bye. That's it. That's it, right? Do you leave a voicemail? Okay, absolutely. You leave a voicemail. Okay, if you get a voicemail, here's what it's going to say. Okay, it's going to say, hey, Steve, it's Ian Prukner. Hey, I was just giving you a courtesy call to remind you I was going to be by tonight to see you and Laura at 7. Hey, listen, I will be there at 7. Call me back if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. Now, I'm probably not going to show up if I don't hear back from them. But by saying that I will be there, okay, if something doesn't work for them, they'll call me versus just no show, no reply, because they're gonna think that I'm gonna be over at their house, right? Okay, so all I'm doing there is I'm just getting them to call me back, right? Because again, in today's day and age, most people don't have the common courtesy to call somebody back, right? So I'm just gonna let them know, hey, listen, I'm gonna be there at 7. Call me if you have any questions, okay? And so what happens there is, they're going to always call me back if it doesn't work, okay? If they still haven't responded to me, okay, I'm going to give them another call, maybe 2 hours before the appointment. I'll call to try to confirm 2, 3, 4 times, okay? But I'm not going to drive over there if after 2, 3, 4 times I can't get a hold of you, right? But I'm almost always going to get a response where you're going to say, hey, you know what, Ian, man, something came up at work. I'm going to be late. I can't do it. Hey, Steve, listen, no problem. What's later in the week look like for you? Okay? And then I'm just going to go right with it. Well, if you say, well, let me talk to my spouse and get back to you, right? So that's the same as, hey, let me talk to my spouse and get back to you when you're calling to set up the appointment, right? It's the generally speaking. Hey, listen, I definitely need her to be there, just generally, and you're going to get it booked. Okay, so you're always going to be assumptive. You're not going to say things like this. Hey, I just checking, are you still good for tonight? That's not assumptive. That's a yes-no question. Okay, we don't want to know there. Oh, no, you know what, I'm not. Hey, just reminding you I'm going to be by at 7. I'm not asking them, are you still good? Do you still want to meet? Everything's still okay? No, we're not going to go there. They set a time with you. It's on your schedule. Your time's valuable. And what you're going to do for them is unbelievable. They need you so badly. It's our obligation to be in front of them. Okay, so we're going to be 100% assumptive. Okay, if for whatever reason something has come up, I'm going to kind of feel it out a little bit. And I'm going to see, is this garbage or is this like an actual deal? You know what, so-and-so's really sick, whatever happened, blah, blah, blah. So I'm always going to say, hey, you know what? I really, honestly, I don't mind if you guys don't mind. I've got little kids and, somebody's always sick. So if you can keep 7, I can still be there. Does that work for you guys? And I'm going to try to keep that appointment. Oh, you know what? You're not getting off work till 7? Okay, well, listen, I could maybe do a little bit of rearranging to my schedule and we could move it back to 8. Okay, but I'm actually in your area, so I would love to try to get that done today if there's any way we still could. Does that work for you if we just move it back a little bit? And I'm going to look for a solution before I just accept a reschedule. If it's legitimate and they're like, hey, you know what, Ian, it just is really not going to work tonight. I say, hey, you know what, no problem, absolutely. So why don't we do this? While we're on the phone, let's set up another time so we don't need to have a third phone call to try to get that. So how does maybe Thursday or Saturday work? It looks like I'm probably going to be back out in that area again. Okay, great. And I'm going to get it set. Listen, if they reschedule and they don't set the appointment back with you, that's pretty much a lost cause. That's a goner, right? Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I'm getting another appointment set with them. And then I'm going to post-close them on that, okay? And so listen, sometimes I've had people reschedule 3, 4, and 5 times that ended up becoming fantastic clients, phenomenal recruits, right? Okay, but I'm going to be a pro to make sure that I'm not leaving stuff out there on the table, okay? So you're always going to set another time if it doesn't work, and you're going to reaffirm that you need the spouse there, right? Okay, so, and how do you do that? You just say their name, which is why it's really important that you get the spouse's name if you don't know it. So, okay, so Steve, listen, no problem about tonight. I've got you and Lana for Thursday at 7, okay? And you wrote that down? Okay, very good. Awesome. So listen, unless you or I die between now and Thursday, I'll see you then. Okay, and so I'm going to get the spouse in there. All right, and so listen, if it's not going to go, it's not going to go. There's nothing to be scared of there, right? The only thing that can happen by confirming is you not wasting your time. It's either going to go or not going to go, right? Okay, and if it's not going to go, then let me solidify the next time where it is going to go, right? And I might ratchet up my post-close a little bit better, okay? So listen, that's the key. You get great at post-closing, okay, and you get great at confirming. And listen, when you're training people, this is stuff you got to train them on. You got to sit with your guys that are serious. You got to teach them how to post-close, and you got to teach them how to confirm, right? If I'm training you, one of the first things I'm going to ask is, hey, did you get a verbal confirmation today? Right? Because I'm almost always going to be double booked. In case I don't get a confirmation, I might even be triple booked. So I'm always going to have somewhere to go, right? Okay. And you got to teach your people, duplicate that. The last thing I'll tell you is this, okay? If you are getting a lot of reschedules via text, okay, or via email, and that doesn't happen to me a lot, but, if people break the rule and try to set appointments over a text or an email versus a phone call, that's almost always going to happen, which is another reason you don't set appointments over text or email, okay, is because they believe then that that's an acceptable way to communicate to you, and you lose a lot of those appointments by text reschedules that never respond, right? Okay, so again, I'm never going to invite the reschedule. I'm always going to post-close. I'm going to confirm the day before. But if you start getting a lot of texts, okay, text reschedules or email reschedules, you might start putting something in that post-close. Now, again, I do not recommend you doing this unless you have a lot of text reschedules. And by a lot, I'm talking about more than 10 or 15%, okay? Not the random 1 or 2. Okay, so when you're post-closing, if you're getting a ton of text reschedules, even though you're not inviting a reschedule, okay, here's what you're going to say. So you're going to say, hey, listen, so you got that written down Thursday at 7, right? Hey, listen, unless you or I die between now and Thursday at 7, I'll see you guys then, okay? Hey, listen, one last thing. If for any reason you have any questions or you need to get a hold of me before then, please do not text me, okay? I sometimes do not get them. I show up at people's houses. They're like, hey, I was trying to reschedule. It's just really goofy. I have a lot of incoming and outgoing texts every day. So the best way is to physically give me a call, okay? Awesome. So very good. So I will see you Thursday at 7. You got that written down? Awesome. Okay, see you soon. Take care, guys. So that's it, right? You're going to get great. Remember, half rescheduling is normal. More than half is abnormal, and you're doing something wrong. Okay, it's very, very rare you're going to have more than 40% keep unless you set so few appointments. You're like, no, I set 5 appointments and 4 of them, right? I'm talking about running law of large numbers. You master this, you duplicate this in a mastery level into your people, and you're going to be on a ton of appointments, right? So setting them is step 1, keeping them is step 2 to actually get on them. Happy appointment setting, everybody. Talk to you soon.